Block. I'm your host, Emily. My camera is not quite there. I was testing something. As you can see behind me, I have some chairs here. Well, I have a chair here. The other chair is facing it. That's just off camera. And I'm getting ready for doing in-person studio shoots of the transgender show. And so I was trying to see, like, what would it be to use the camera from here, just move, so it's sandwiched between two monitors, and that's what you're seeing right here. This blackness you're seeing is actually one of my two monitors, and so everything's just shuffled a little bit as I was moving things around. Didn't quite nail getting it back, and yeah, the camera's kind of in the right place, but not quite. It's hard to describe. Like, we're seeing the right amount of the mirror, we're seeing the right amount of the table, I feel. But I'm off center. Anyways, it's stuff for me to figure out. So I'm trying to do that. I'm also trying to get myself set up here. I did not pop out the chats yet, so let's do that real quick. The audio is low. The audio is low. What is happening? Why is the audio low? Maybe I was doing something else in this setup before. Wow, it's even really hard for me to get into the yellow. I have to kind of crank it. The input looks like it's doing pretty well. Maybe it's a little low. Oh, and the microphone's already in the shot, so it needs to be here. What if we moved it upwards? Too far. Okay, that's about as high as it can go. And if we move it there, how's our audio level? Yeah, it's still a bit low. So I can turn it up here. Now let's see, testing. Squarely in the yellow. Things look pretty good. Hopefully the audio is good. I'm recording, so I will be able to go back and look at this later and determine what I think about it. Hi, Rich. How are you doing? We got Dresden Media over there in the Twitch chat. Rich was our guest on last week's show. I will bring up what we did last time and show you that. We'll talk a little bit about that. We'll talk a little bit about what we're doing here for those that might be new. And just give me some practice to talk about what it is. What would you say you do here? Gosh, I don't know the last time I've ever told anybody, like, what I do on camera. We're gonna lose the sunglasses. Probably gonna lose the hair clip. And one thing we should find is a brush, because the brush appears to be missing, and I don't know why that is. Huh. That's unfair. Oh. I washed my hair today, and it's been up in a ponytail all day. But it looks like it's been up in a bun, because look at how nice and curly that is. That's really nice. Okay. So yes, I am Emily. I'm founder and I guess president. I'm not really sure about titles around here anymore. Of the Transverse. This lovely thing you're within here. Obviously, you found the Transverse because that's the URL. That's the logo at the bottom, all the good things. And so we've been doing this for 5 years now. First show was the transgender show, and we spun off and did a bunch of other stuff. We did, this show used to be Builder's Block, where we did builds of things, and I would actually build and custom paint these droids. I realize that the focus on me is soft, but I like it because you can actually see Ellie really well right now. But yes, the 12-inch tall droids from Disneyland, I would custom design and paint them and then weather them to make them look old and oily and beat up and scratched and all of the good things. So did that for a while, and that was my contribution to Builder's Block. We also had some Lego builders and some other fun things on there. Pulling up the tank top to not show off the bra, but the sweater has to come off because I'm getting hot. So nobody's even super chatted yet, and I'm already taking off clothes. And the funny thing is like, it is too cold to not have the sweater on, but it's too hot to have the sweater on. And it's a very airy sweater. It's a very loose cable knit. So is that a cable knit? I guess it's not a cable knit. The cable knit's the whatever. I don't know sweaters. Yes, Alexis, thank you for checking in from both accounts. Crystal, thank you so much for checking in from Iowa again. So nice to have you here. We've got Raina and Christina, my assistant and her assistant, respectively. Charlotte's here. All right. So if y'all were here last week or you weren't, it's fine. Dresden Media over there in the Twitch chat was our guest on the show, and we talked about how I did last year purchase a drawing tablet, and when I went to Australia, I took it with me, and somehow when I came back from Australia, I didn't bring it with me. So Charlotte has shipped it. It's in the mail. It's on its way. So we'll be drawing on the tablet again soon. I'm going to take just a second to make the camera bad. So I'm going to make it small so it's not like, so it doesn't like mess people up. Okay, this is what we did last week. Rich wanted to draw on the picture of Winnie the Pooh stuck in Rabbit's doorway. So Pooh came over the episode. He's very obsessed with honey and acquiring as much honey as possible, goes to visit Rabbit, eats Rabbit absolutely out of house and home, and goes to leave, and now is too fat to fit out the doorway, gets stuck halfway between. They can't get him to budge either way. So Rabbit takes it upon himself to make the best of the situation and puts a frame around Pooh's butt and puts the branches up to make some antlers, and then I think paints a smiley face on, and Rich just for some reason found that very funny and thought that would be good fodder for a drawing template. Christina said draw a donkey tattoo, and I know for a fact that Christina themselves have a Eeyore tattoo, so that was what it was in reference to. So I found a picture of Eeyore, drew them on there, and didn't quite get it centered the way I'd hoped. So I put a little piglet on there to balance it out and make it look like that was intended. So yes, this is what we did last week. I'm going to go now and excuse myself for just a second. I'm going to be off mic a bit while I fix this camera. On this crop, you don't see the black edge over here, but on the other camera it is. So I guess I have to switch back because I'm gonna need to be able to check and see it. So that's this button. Okay, so bear with me while I figure this out. Oh, we'll focus after because this might mess up the focus. So the camera needs to move that way. The camera's basically where it needs to be. It just needs to move that way and then look more towards that direction, just slightly. That was a lot of changes. Let's see what we think about that. Okay. Not pointing at me at all. It's not pointing at me at all. I'm way off to the side. So, let's see if the camera itself will just twist here. Oh, it does. A little bit. A little bit. Almost. We've almost got it. I'm going to rotate the camera just a little bit more. Sit here. Yeah, it's still, the camera needs to point more that direction. Without now catching this monitor. I think I'm going to say that's okay. I think I'm going to go with that. That's fine. All right. So my trick is to sit back where I'm at, hold up a thing there. It's about yay. Once that's in focus, then when I sit back, I should be in focus. Look at that. And now Ellie's a little soft. That's perfect. Is there a brush there? Is the blue brush in there? No? Sure. I wonder what I did with my blue one. Thank you. The hair's just a little bit too rough around the edges to leave. I want to do a little bit of primping here. Okay, so camera set. That's what we did last week. Now, here's where you come in today, is I need help figuring out what we're drawing today. I'm going to use, at some point, all of the pencils to do my fancy new pencil set to do the wallaby. That's a standing request. Not a wallaby, a wombat. But today I feel like pen and ink. I'm still feeling pen and ink. That looks pretty good. Liking it. Okay. So camera's good. Oh, you do coloring pages and crafting on your channel. Do you mean like coloring in coloring pages, or do you like create coloring pages? Because that's something I really want to do too. I actually have a sketch of a coloring book page that I want to do for the Transverse, which is actually the transgender show Phoenix. It's like 4 or 5 of them on the branches of a tree. And I think I'm going to, I'm just going to do it so that, and make that into a coloring book page. I've got a decent sketch of that, and I just need to finish it up because one of the things I always wanted to do was a coloring book with pages from various transgender artists. And you have Faber-Castell or Prismacolor. I have the Mondo Barrel Prismacolor set, which I will go grab and show you because it's like my prized possession. Look at this. Look at all the dust. Oh, so much dust. Excuse our dust here. That's gonna make me cough and sneeze real bad. Real bad. All right. Bam. 120. 120 pencil set. This is where you're gonna get sad though. Oh no. Okay, those are all right. The bottom ones got jacked up. What the hell happened? I think that there's a little bit more give in the bottom, so when the box gets kind of messed up and thrown around, those are the ones that take the brunt. And let me tell you, organizing the grays is a massive pain in the butt. So that'll be fun to have to redo. And yes, they all have to be in exact perfect color order and the like. Otherwise, we couldn't claim to have ADHD, could we? What is happening down there? Oh, you're on top of a pencil, aren't you? That's the worst ever. The worst ever. Oh, and there's another one. How are we gonna do this without ruining everything? We can't. I hate it. I hate it. Damn it, now they're falling out. They won't sit up because there are two pencils in the bottom that have fallen over and are laying down. And I don't know how to get them back in place without dumping the whole thing. Oh, that is terrible. That is worst case scenario, y'all. This went from being a good day to being a very, very difficult day for me. Wait, let's see if we can do this, huh? Oh, okay. Got one of them. So, I'm not showing you very well because I'm doing this on my lap, and I apologize for that. But, up in here, you see how these pencils are all, like, they're not laying flat? It's because there are pencils that are at the bottom messing everything up in the world. I can't even see there. Wait. Was that the only pencil? Or is there a dark one down there? The bottom of the thing's black, so I can't tell if there's another pencil in there that's black or if we're done. Oh, beans. There's two pencils down there. Oh, no. Oh, no. Maybe if we pull this top layer off, we can get that out. Sorry, I know you came for a drawing show, but this is taken precedent. I'm sorry. In the meantime, yes, please. We do need one's called a reverse coloring book. It's where you get the color blotches and shapes and you add the detail. Oh, fun. Wow. I think I'd really like that. Huh. I've never thought or heard of or seen that concept before. That's wild. Okay. There are two pencils down there. And now that all of our other pencils are out, they're easy to get to, so no big deal. There's clearly an extra space up at the top. And we've got some reds up here, so I'm going to put one of these in there. I think that fulfills our top row. Then the second to the bottom is just a tough one. Let's switch to this view and look at these. Okay, so is this a metallic? That is a metallic. It's in the right place, relatively speaking. Yeah, some of these colors get a little rough. Some of the earth tones cause consternation. What are we doing here? Where we've got like the rainbow purple to purple essentially. And then we go down here and we start at green. That's an interesting choice. And then we've got our, after our pink, we go into our 3 neon colors. We have what? 1 space down here? So if we pull one out, that won't be enough. Because I'm thinking of moving this green up. Oh, do we have 4 bright neons? We do. Whale poop. But if we bring up some of our browns, we could do that. All right. Okay, so this changed from being a drawing stream to being a Emily OCD thing. Yes, the OCD pencil organization show, and it's not OCD. It is ADHD that I have. I do not have OCD, but it manifests. ADHD manifests in similar organizational, whatever you want to call it, focus. Okay, there we go. There's that. And we got these browns, which would be good. So let's go right before our metallics. Let's put our neons. Because they are germane to nothing there, but if we treat them like special pencils, so we've got the neon and the metallics, that seems to make sense to part of my brain. What I would like, since the pink's up here, is to go to the neons next, then the metallics, then the earth tones would be really good. That'd be really cool. Let's pull this brown out and see if we can negotiate this green-brown, this really ugly green color in there. I think that makes a little more sense. Let's make you our hard line against the rest there. This is a tough purple. Oof. Aren't you pretty? Wow. So this one is just like... it's just, yeah, not where they're supposed to be. Yeah, we could do that as our show. We could do that. We'll have to do that another time. But we could totally go through and completely redo the order of all of these pencils. I want to make these purples come after these ones. So we'll go from this purple here through the blues, the greens, yellows, oranges, reds, to these sort of reddier purples into here, and then through the lavenders. Where will we put the pinks though? They don't kind of go in this because they're not color, they're hue. That's where you get stuck, is when you're dealing with color and hue at the same time. Because those don't play nicely with the others, with the colors. And if you'll notice, there are like, yeah, a dozen or so that have never even been sharpened. They've never been used at all. Oh, greens next to pinks. Say it ain't so. Oy. I might just throw them at the other end just so that they're not breaking my brain. Oh. But then these are sort of purplier, pinkier. I do like the idea of going this way, then this way, then this way, then this way. That makes things feel nice. Having, oh shit, don't just repeat the whole problem. Why? You just can't lay flat on the sketchbook, huh? Just stay for a second. Okay. After the white, I would prefer to go cool gray, but I'm not going to mess with this too much. I think this is going to be my cool gray. So I think you're warm. You're very warm. You appear cool. But now I'm kind of questioning you. Yeah, this is... It's so funny, too, because, like... Yeah, just the way that ADHD stuff manifests and makes things really frustrating that are, like, for instance, out of color order. It's like, that's so wild. But this is the way the brain works, and you gotta entertain your brain. Okay. There went 20 minutes of doing something that we weren't talking about. We were just showing off the colored pencils. Oh, wait, what happened? When did that go small? Me to make lunch for work, take out trash and get stuff out for work tomorrow. Yeah, that is awesome. That's understandable. But why did our screen shrink? Are we still? Oh, we're not on two. We hit a key and we went on to different. Wow. I don't know how we got there, but we went to a different screen, so that's fine. Maybe we hit the mouse. Maybe that was what it was. I'm glad I didn't lose y'all entirely. Okay, this light's a little hot, but it's so hard to do now because I don't know where the controller for that light went in the move. Okay, so the pencils, I don't think we're gonna be using today. But we do have those as an option. I wanted to go back to the pens. I really enjoy working with those pens, so yes. Well, I guess back to is a lie because we did do this in pen this last week, and that was really fun how that turned out. Did we have anything else we did last week? I don't believe so. There's the hedgehog, there's the frog. What's after the hedgehog? Nothing? Nothing, honey? Okay. All right, we'll switch to this page. I'm gonna go back up and see if anybody in chat has suggested. Christina asks what I'm drawing today, but nobody has suggested anything yet. So, yeah, anyways, that was a very, very long way, Crystal Cat, to say, yes, I do love colored pencils. I love getting a mid-tone color paper and working on that with the colored pencils so that you're not only, putting in the dark and colored bits, but you're also able to pull the light bits out using the lighter colors, using the white. So you're doing... you start at the middle with the paper and you work down and up, which is super fun because on white paper with the pens, I'm just working down. And with ink, it goes down fast. And so I need to... Oh, the dog with the computer, you're right there. Where did he go? So yeah, that's the challenge there, is not oversaturating with the ink pen. There's Katie's tattoo, which we still need to finish. I say we as if you'll ever help me. Where is the dog? Was the dog first? I thought the butt was first, wasn't it? I thought we started with the butt. This is a bad Sonic. Where did the dog go? I do want to share the dog. Thank you for reminding me. Oh, there he is. We did a 3 style, which is we take 3 prompts from the audience and try and draw based on that. The animal given was a dog. The profession given was a computer engineer, and then the object that was given was a Nintendo NES system. So for anybody who is obsessed with Nintendo, you will notice that mine is actually, my Nintendo is actually reverse negatived. The console is, the controller is right, but the console is flipped. The black is actually on the other side of the bay door, but I'd already started drawing it when I realized that, so just went with it. But yeah, that's our sad, beaten down dog computer engineer. It's funny because the keys look a little wonky in here, but visually it looks like it works. Anyways. I have a red panda drawing started that I need to finish. Let's go back here. A porta potty and a walrus trying to give it a flower, not knowing it's an inanimate object. I'm gonna take and simplify the crap out of that, Rich, and I'm going to do a porta potty. Just kidding, I'm going to do a walrus. Can we do a really fun psychedelic walrus? Oh, I really want to show you this. I gotta see if I can find it. I might have to do it the long way, so I think the long way is gonna be the faster way, so just give me a second. God damn, come on. My phone keeps over scrolling, going really weird places. Okay, so if I go here, where is that lion? Well, if I didn't save it in here, I don't think it's going to be easy to find. And why, oh why did I not save it in the right place in my photos? When did I have breakfast with Rebecca? Can I find it that way? Danica Alley. Oh, I really wish I could find this quickly. Oh, I can, oh no, I can't. But I can do this. This will get me closer. All right, we're so close, y'all. Let's see. February 21st of this year. So now I can go into my photos and find February. So yeah, it was after I got back from my Australia trip, but before I went to, before I moved to Australia. So there it is. All right. So now we're going to put this in Discord. And where's HQ? TVHQ1. Well, what if I did Emily then? Transfer Emily. There it is. Okay, there's that. Okay, so that's done. Riveting TV here. Riveting. Just absolutely riveting as I play on my phone. Yeah, Yeah, the more psychedelic, the better. I definitely like this. So, I had brunch with a friend, and she brought a sketchbook with her. And the thing is that she started this thing where when she meets with a friend, she brings a sketchbook, and they sit and draw something together. So we were at the Little Lion Cafe, so I drew a lion. And I should be able to say image, Little Lion. Fat fingers, y'all, fat fingers. That should just be in my downloads now. There it is. All right, show of hands, who uses the downloads folder for everything on their computer? I put everything in my downloads folder, and I figure it out later. There's got to be a faster way of scaling things, but I like to be a donkey and do it the hard way. That should be good enough. Okay. So, she had the sketchbook. She had this thing of little colored pencils, tiny colored pencils. They were about like this long. And then I had the black pen, and our waitress person, the sort of bartender at Little Lion, had some colored pens. And so I was able to do this, and I just, it's just a picture of a lion, just, you know, yellows and browns, but I threw in the pink, and I threw in the blue and some of the shadowing, and just was really, really happy with that, because I don't ever do that. I don't do the mixed color. I do it so much, I do it so much based on the actual photo. So getting out of there and doing something like this was fun. Obviously very, very fast. We did it waiting for our food, so it was a really quick drawing. I can see a lot of flaws in this, but I also am still really happy with it. It was completely freehand. I don't even think I was able for this one to do a pencil sketch first. So there's a lot of proportion issues that I'm seeing with it, but all in all, I show that to show the coloration and kind of what I want to do in the walrus. And then, of course, this is my friend's version of a lion at the bottom, and she says, nailed it. So, yes, that was the fun we had at brunch. Okay, so that's very far over. You sure you can't kind of meet me a little bit more over here? So I don't have to be all the way over there. We have some problematic lighting here because of the time of the day. The sun is shifting as we move into October, and I don't have time to change that. So bear with that. Let's do a psychedelic walrus. So let's look up, what would psychedelic look like? Yeah, it's pretty good. So let's do walrus, and let's get some psychedelic inspiration as well. I hate that. If you type a letter, when you hit the delete key, it doesn't delete the letter. And that absolutely drives me up a goddamn wall. If any of you are in charge, anybody watching this is in charge of that decision, like, please change it. Like, when I hit the delete key because I typed the wrong character, I want to delete the character, not the thing that you have decided to put in there after it for me. That's not what I'm deleting. I'm deleting the character. Because if I wanted to get rid of what you were putting in there, all I have to do is type a different letter. Oh my god. And I still can't spell anyways. It's fine. Oh, I can't spell psychedelic anyways. After all of that. Yeah, the weird kind of patterny stuff isn't sort of what I was looking for. I guess it's just those bright colors, which colors we're going to be limited on anyways. Okay, there's a psychedelic Robo-Lion. That looks very strange to me. All right, let's see. Let's see if we got any direct inspiration. Is anybody gonna have this? Kinda they do, yeah. Ooh, the photo that's all color shifted is rad. That's a really cool piece. I like this one. Well done. Well done. Cool. All right. All right. Yeah, so let's do it this way. Let's start with a sketch, and then what I'm going to do is I am going to grab a pen, and that's going to be the color we're gonna start with. And based on what the hell is happening here? Something is stuck to my pencil, and a hair is stuck to the thing that's stuck to my pencil. I think my leftovers kind of dribbled into my purse the other day. Very frustrating. So definitely got to be big tusks. I like this pose, but obviously got to be bigger tusks. A little baby walrus. I don't want to see what that was. That looked gross. Ooh, don't fang him. That sucks. Saber-toothed walrus. What is happening to my pencils? I had another pencil have a problem. This feels like it's with the eraser only. Maybe some crap did get into my pencils. Darn. All right. All right, let's do... Well, we still haven't chosen our walrus yet. I do like this pile of walrus sort of idea. Where are we at right now? We've spent 44 minutes just getting the camera ready, organizing the pencils, and deciding on a walrus. This is not my brightest, my best day of drawing and doing quick things. I mean, this is the mood, right? That is the mood. It's more like your mood than my mood, but yeah, we're gonna go with this. I really do hate that light. Because now it's on the page enough to where it's gonna mess up where I'm drawing. I forgot I had dropped the pencil before. And I was bummed because it looked like we were missing one of the barrel Prismacolors. Because there was a little too much room here at the bottom. Oh, no, looks like we're missing 2. So this will get us closer. And we're still missing 1 pencil. I don't think it's on the floor. Okay. When I set up the desk, I moved it this way a little bit. It's not as far left as it used to be. And that means that it's really hard to get in over here and get to the blinds. Okay. All right, so let's draw our walrus here. Let's say our head is here-ish. We've got our... No, let's move our head over a little bit more. And then really quickly we go up here into our flipper with our elbow. Our kind of shoulder. And we'll go off the page that way. We should go off much more straight. Fair enough. And then somewhere around, yeah, the middle of this, we get the bottom flipper. And our photo cuts off, but we're going to extend it down a little bit just to put it in right. Okay. Our basic outline here. You ever looked at a walrus foot close up? It's pretty unique there. Okay. Toy looks like a bat wing here. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Our nose is kind of up in there. No, our nose is actually right up in there, so we can move it a little bit. About here, is that good? And then our snout comes down there, back up, back down, and here, that's good enough. Got our tusk 1, tusk 2. I'm gonna curve it back in just a little bit. It's not perfectly straight. And of course, we'll have all of our wrinkles and all of our fun stuff. What is happening? Is his eye open? Is that what's happening? That looks very weird. It's so flat. That's not... What else could it be up there, though? Because wouldn't the eye be up here? Isn't that where the eye is going to be? No, I guess it would. I guess it would be here. All right, we're going to. We're gonna do what we can to make that eye close. I think that'll work. Because I don't know what's actually happening in our photo, but it looks very odd to me and it doesn't look right. So all right. So now getting back to this and to our promise, I'm just going to reach up here. I'm going to grab a pin from the middle, maybe this one. Okay, burgundy is our first pin. I was hoping for something a little bit more. Okay. Definitely get the blues in. We can do some burgundy, but it's a little bit too close to reality, so I want to make it funnier than funkier than that. Okay. I'll just lighten up the pencil lines a little bit. We got a little bit dark in a couple areas. Okay. And of course, we will be using some black in this. Okay. So this is going to be another very detailed one, sort of like the frog. I'm going to make it like the lion, but hopefully a little bit quicker than that, just done a little bit faster, a little bit more rapid visualization. How are we going to do this color here without drawing in every single little thing? It looks like I'm going kind of vertical for the walrus's body on this. We'll see if that ends up being what we like. Okay, and then I'm gonna do okay. I should check chat real quick because I'm settling in. I'm gonna just draw like a mad woman here. Guilty of having a huge downloads folder, Raina had said. I did see that, but I didn't call it out. So thank you for being on the same page as me with the bad habits with our download folders. As I said, I don't want to use too much of this burgundy color because he's very brown and it's sort of the right color, and I don't want to use the right color. I want to use funky colors. I want it to be wild and different, and I'm going to do, let's go some royal and definitely some navy blue on this shadowing here. There's that shadow there, and then we'll do the royal blue kind of color, and then we'll come back in with the navy and do some of this skin bold kind of, it gets kind of scaly in here a little bit. Yeah, that's good enough. I'm not going to get too obsessed with things here, although it's not a sharp tusk. We do need to make sure it's sort of rounded a little bit. Make sure it stays nice and light up in here, mostly whitish, but we'll get some of the highlights and some of the shadows and some of the different things going on. Definitely want to do yellow whiskers coming out of here. Why do I keep ending up with all these animals with whiskers and problematic hairs and quills and stuff? I think y'all like to give me unnecessary challenges. You're doing this to me on purpose, aren't you? Okay, what's that? What color do we want on the face? Maybe we'll continue this blue here. We'll get the shadow going from our flipper here. This pen's not sliding very well on the paper at the moment. What is a medium-ish color that we can put in here? Let's do some some pink highlight on this. Getting really weird here, and it's funky, and it's difficult for me. It's hard. It's very hard. Where our pink go? Is this our lighter pink? It is. Trying to do next to the whiskers, not on the whiskers. Easier said than done there a little bit. All right, so we've got our little chin coming here under, in the midst of the whiskers as we're doing this. So we're gonna come up, and we're not matching up very well, but it's fine. We'll fudge it and make it work. Here we go. Remember, this is rapid. This is supposed to be quick representation of what this walrus looks like in psychedelic funky colors. Where's the navy? There it is. Okay, what's our shadow look like? It's coming off of this thing, so let's fade it out a little bit. So it sort of reads really well like shadow, with a lot of cast to it. You don't cast very much shadow at all. You've got a nice little outline, but that's about it. You cast a lot of shadow. We go to the next bit here, and you again cast a fair bit of shadow. Next one's like all shadow. Oh, where am I? I lost where I am. Okay, that one. Okay, that one. I lost it again. So we've got off of... Oh, that was not where that was supposed to be. That's fine. We can do there. We're not very accurate on this. It's fine. All right, so around the hairs here, we do have that chin bit that's going to come back up. The chin wrinkle that's there, and gonna go into... Should have gone into the shadow of one of these things, but we are way off, so it's fine. Doesn't need to be super accurate or perfect. That's not what we're going for. Okay. Okay, let's see what else we got here. So we got some highlight there. We're gonna do some highlight on the fin, the flipper. Okay. We're getting some good shadowing and good different things going on here. I'm liking this. This is nice. Mixing in some of the blue with the red we had before. Get some texture in here with this. I don't think we're going to spend too much time up in here. Just put a little bit of more kind of the texture. Get a little bit more of, yeah, what's going on with the rolls of fat here around the chin and stuff. And some of the, more of the wrinkles. Okay, there we go. There's our chin fold line. We got to do our tusk shadow here, which will just sort of roll over the rolls of fat a little bit. Fill that in. Then we'll come back along here. And up over this one a little bit, and down in here where it gets a little deeper. Up over that one. That's sort of a bigger one, and then we'll meet the end of our guy. Okay. Okay. So our fat lines are obviously going to be the navy. Our little rolls there. And this has to be a nice, solid, hard line. Because that's our tusk. But then, where it actually gets into here is going to be more of the lines and a little more variation in there. As the light sort of plays around in the shadows. The shadow isn't completely dark or perfect. Okay, that looks pretty good. And I just need to be a little bit faster with this and transgender show theme playing right now on Transverse Radio. Okay, so that's that one. It's going to come out of here and just do a little bit of kind of funkiness here and go there. And it's actually going to meet back up here. And then this one is about there and comes and meets there and goes down this way. That's our chest fold line there. Shouldn't be working so dark, but it's fine. Okay, that's that one, and we'll we're a little bit off on where our flipper's going to be, so we're going to move it just slightly. I think that's pretty well good enough for that. Fill that in there. Let's come along and fill in our outline of the head here. Okay, finish up our flipper outline. That'll be plenty of dark up there. And body line there. That's good. Okay, do we have, we do have some more fat stuff to do. So let's, kind of there. And then we're just going to do some of these wrinkles under here. Like about like so, I think. And then we've got to do this big one that comes down here. And sort of cuts into this, it looks like, yeah. All right. And then we'll fix the rest in post with shadowing and other weirdnesses. Okay. All right, let's do our tusk. Right, yes. That all looks pretty good there. Darken it up as it shadows. And maybe add a little bit of the orange in this spot where it's really kind of dark. Got this like line in it that really sort of fades out down this way and up there. Okay. There's definitely some darkness in this. I'm gonna add a little bit in with the maroon. Come down a little bit more. Where are we at for time? I'm totally losing myself in this drawing. I only have about 20 minutes left. Or I need to move on to the next thing yet again. Of course, we're gonna do darker blues for our shadows because we need the teal for most of the body coloring. Do some of the navy in here to make it nice and dark and deep in some of these crevasses in the fat. But you know, we got a lot of light on this guy, so I'm gonna continue doing the golden highlights here. All right. Let's see. We are on Wednesday. I need to get better about saying happy hump day. We are halfway through the week. How is everybody's week going today? Everybody's week going so far? We went out and did some shopping. I got my skirt for my Han Solo costume. I'm doing sort of a sexy Han Solo. I know, a Star Wars costume from Emily. Like, how surprising. Oh my gosh. No way. How wild. How can that be? It can't be possible. No way. I think this is working pretty well here. And looks fairly psychedelic. It's very funky looking, and I'm liking that. Trying to see if I can do this a little faster though. Yeah, what's the friend's name? Isn't it like Rocky or Rocco or something? That's gonna be super nice when you're dog sitting, but the dog gets to come to your house, so you don't have to stay away from your family. Super convenient there. You don't get to stay at a fancy house with a nice pool and spa, but still, you get to be with your family, which is more important. I think I'm going to do on this side, I'm going to do a little bit of a shadow suggestion, just a little bit of an outline to kind of give the bottom part of the bone, or the highlight part of the bone, a little bit of separation as well. All these different highlights we've got on here. I don't know, is this working? I can't quite tell. Yeah, it's working. It's kind of working. It's working mostly. Let's focus more on this part of it. Definitely going to use up these teal pens a lot because I do love using them in my drawings. And yeah, getting my money's worth out of the teal pens. That's for sure. Which one are we on? We're on the big one. And yeah, I'm gonna do some shadowing down into that. I think that's fine. The cool thing is when the teal meets the goldenrod, it kind of ends up making a navy blue anyways. Do a little bit of the highlight down in here, especially in some of these spots, but just a little bit because we want to transition to the teal down here. Sort of exaggerate the shadowing and the control the sunlight a little bit more. And then as we get to this part, we'll switch back over to the navy blue and get some nice dark shadows in here. Did I say navy? I meant the royal. The navy will just come back with for the darkest parts to fill in the fat rolls a little bit, darken all that up. All right, it's gonna be the tough part where we're working with the whiskers again a little bit. Got some highlights coming in here. All right. Okay, so Pepper. Pepper is this puppy. Okay. Cute name for a pup. I'm gonna kind of more go along the forehead left to right than up and down here. I think that'll fit better with my wrinkling and the things I need to do. All right, let's see. Because this is where we got some good dark shadow hit here coming off of the flipper. But some kind of like snow. Yeah, it is snow. Some snow highlight on this guy. And then we got to come back in with some good navy blue. And the wrinkles in here. Blend our shadow out, which is sort of going to be cross hatching. A little bit, a little funky there. Okay, so we got a nice big forehead wrinkle there. Okay, and just trying to fill in some of these lines and make them look kind of like they do here on our subject, even though we kind of missed on this one quite a bit. A little kind of crackly. This poor guy needs some moisturizing, that's for sure. Get a little bit more of those pink highlights in here. Without making it look like he's bleeding, unfortunately. Okay, I'm really happy with the way this bit's starting to look. So we're able to kind of shadow some of these fat rolls nicely. All right. Blend off of that a little bit better. Okay. We're going to have lots of highlight on this because this is right up on top of our head. We're going to highlight the crap out of this one with our sunlight. This is where we can start to get some of the that idea in this flipper, where these things are, we're going to have a highlight on one side and sort of a shadow on the other. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to work in some more pink in some of these spots. Just that that's another like light source that's hitting this side of him a little bit. I don't think we're gonna get this done in 20 minutes. Well, now it's about 10. Yeah, there goes my alarm on my phone for the next thing I gotta move on to. Ow. Ooh, ow, that really hurt. Something like my knee's in a weird position right now under the table. Ooh, yeah, it's very unhappy. For some reason. So yeah, I'm still trying to work on making sure my lines stay more parallel. If you remember, I don't know if you still have it in your brain, but looking back at the lion, there were lots of lines going in sort of different directions. And the more you can keep them going parallel, the more intentional it looks, and the the better it maintains looking. I like the idea of calling out like a secondary light source over here as this pink. Didn't utilize it as much as we should have on the head, but maybe we can pull it out a little bit more in the body and find other ways of utilizing it to suggest it in here and just sort of work it in so that it blends a little bit better. It's looking a little funky in some places right now. I think our closed eye for our walrus looks pretty good. I gotta remember when I'm there, I'm going to a in-person trans therapy group, basically. And I'm mainly showing up there to kind of help them get started and get like keep their numbers up at the beginning, but I don't really need, I host a peer group of my own. I don't really need the benefits of a therapy group. And I've actually ended up doing the Emily thing a lot, which is talking a whole lot of the time. So I need to stop inserting myself into these things a little bit. Because these people don't need to hear me talk. They need to talk about their stories. I feel like I do a good job of, in my like interviews, if you've watched the Transgender Show and some of my other things, when I share my story, it kind of helps people feel comfortable sharing theirs. And so that's a really good thing, but there's also the other side of it where it's just like, yeah, I don't need to insert my opinions and all that. Like, they're all perfectly capable. Ba-dum-dum, ba-dum-dum-dum. I kind of want to blend this both ways where it's just dark in the middle. It's just darkest and more solid in the middle and sort of fades out as it gets to... I'm gonna do more over here. And it's actually working pretty well. I'm like kind of trying to figure it out as I'm going, but it's just like when I do the things that I think should work and I step back and look at it a little bit, it's just like, oh yeah, that does look like good shadowing there. I might just go to white here. This little kind of wrinkle in here that we're going to work in. This is the problem. Yeah, I need to quit going to this class because like I could just draw for another like 3 hours, and if y'all are willing to stay and watch, like I don't see why I wouldn't do that. We just hang out and have fun. I need to get better about talking to y'all, but see, this is the problem. When I get super into something and I'm paying a lot of attention to what I'm drawing, it gets really hard to keep talking. That's the skill set I need to work on. What do we think of that? Oh my God. I mean, it's pretty psychedelic with the yellow and blues. I don't know if I would say it's psychedelic. It's definitely stylized, but very, very fun. I love how this is turning out. I love the color combination of the yellow and the teal and the blue coming in there. Definitely working a lot of shadow in here. Missed a whole big fold here, I feel like. Or we're just gonna put one in because we need it. Oh, I really love this. I really, really am happy with this, the way this is turning out. And this is where it's going to get a little subtle and a little kind of funky because we go from, we got highlight, we got shadow, and then it's just all shadow all of a sudden. And then we sort of blend into highlight again. Oh, y'all, I gotta go and I don't want to. I want to stay and draw with you. I want to hang out. I want to keep going. But that's what next week's show's for anyways. We can continue the party. What do you think in chat? Let me know. I am kind of in the zone. Stay, stay, stay. Yes, I know, I know. Unfortunately, it is build. That's why I definitely don't want to go. I definitely want to stop going. It's a therapy thing. It's a group therapy. So it is actually build, and I don't want my insurance to pay for it anymore. So I'm going to cut it there. We're going to come back to this next week. Some of the pink stuff is not happening the way I know you want me to stay. I love you all too, and I want to stay with you, but I've got obligations. I'm going to tell them I'm not coming back next week, so I will no longer have this obligation. I can do a full 2-hour show, and if we want to, we can stay and do a little bit longer. I love you very much. Thank you so much for coming in and hanging out with me. I am sorry that I'm so quiet while I'm in the zone and drawing. I will try and get better about that. That's one of the things this show is for, is to just get all my skills going again. So drawing, talking while I'm focusing on other things, using different parts of my brain. Always very fun hanging out with y'all, and I will see you on Saturday for Being Trans. That is at 12 Pacific, which is 3 Eastern, and some other time in other places. Eastern Australia, that would be 5 a.m. 5 a.m. for our Eastern Australians. And then the rest of y'all outside of the Sydney time zone or whatever, figure things out on your own. I love you. We'll come back and we'll finish this. I cannot wait to finish this guy. He's a lot of fun. And yeah, have a great night. Bye.